Real Music exclusive.
I grew up like a savage.
One, two, 1, 2. You now rocking with the No Vultures podcast. You got me, myself, Lord Rap. You got OG Clee going away on a vacation. Free OG Clee. And today, we got a very, 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 very special guest. Now, when you talk about Bay Area pillars, when you talking about unifying the Bay, when you talk about somebody that's never been stuck in their neighborhood and got out of here and tried to make everybody come with them, you got to think about this guy. When you talk about doing tapes with somebody and you talk about putting people on, whether it's styling, filthy, mess, and the list goes on. When you hear that name, Bullies with Fullies, matter of fact, when you heard this name, the Dogs wasn't even out yet. You niggas, you niggas didn't even have the Bullies, the little dogs that y'all got right now.
None of that shit.
So this shit ain't inspired by no bullshit. This is real life shit, man. We got to protect this guy at all costs, man, because he is one of our own, man. He is one of the ones that inspire all of us to do this shit. Today we got the legendary, the Bully with the Fully, Juice in this motherfucker on No Vultures today. Brother.
Man, you know what it is.
How you doing?
Yeah, man. Free the thug, though, man.
Yes, sir. Free OG Clee, man.
I'm well.
You well?
I'm well.
Yeah, you
man.
looking good, bro. I just told you.
Yeah. I'm grimy right now. Though.
Nah, man. You know that's how it is, man.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm happy that you back, man. I'm happy. I'm honored to get this motherfucking interview, just to be real with you, bro. Because
sure.
we all grew up on this shit. You know
Right
what I'm saying?
on,
Even though we ain't that far in age, we just grew up watching you and how you navigated through this shit, bro. And so.
100.
You part of the Bay Area fabric as far as this industry go.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to Highline Custom Jewelry. You know, one of the first jewelers in the Bay Area to give you that custom jewelry. When everybody quit Spitz, they went to Highline. You know what I'm saying? And he upgraded every year. Shout out to Carl and the whole crew. And as a part of this message, like I told Carl, we not just telling Africans to buy jewelry just to, you know, we want you to make responsible purchases. We want you to buy shit that you're gonna keep the value in it, and you know, be careful with your body and what's on your body, and watch your surroundings at all costs. We don't want to die, and we don't want to see nobody dead over no jewelry no more. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
That shit is petty as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
They gotta move right too, though, man.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, nobody should be forced to not want to, you know what I'm saying, swag the way they want to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good, but at the end of the day, you still gotta conduct yourself the right way, and you know, you niggas stop wearing that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, being on some greasy neck shit. You don't gotta wear that shit every time you go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, wear it when it's lights, cameras, action, and you're going out or you're stepping out. But just to go run to the store, man, to grab a bag of chips or something, you ain't got to have that shit.
It's even okay when you sleeping, man. You can take it off in the bed, bro. You can take it.
Hey, I had a partner right quick. I had a partner, man, that you know, he stayed in Vegas, and he was telling me like one day, he just one day, he happened to put his presidential rollie on, and he had his piece on, and he just was running to 7-Eleven, just that quick, and the cat caught him like in less than 5 minutes, and the dude told him, I spotted your watch from like a few blocks away. Like, he said he seen the watch hitting, and he got up on it. Give it to me. Now he ended up getting it back. You know what I'm saying? He ended up getting it back because somehow the dude who took it knew somebody that knew him, and he got, you know, it worked out.
Right.
But the point that I'm making is that just within that moment, the nigga had on some little Yeezys or some slippers and jumped up and ran to the store right quick, and somebody spotted him from a few blocks away, like, ooh, and got up on him and break yourself. You know how it is. Run that. So yeah, man, y'all gotta be on top of y'all game, man.
So Juice,
What up,
the
bro?
legendary
For sure. Appreciate that.
Hunters Point,
Come on.
Frisco, born and raised.
Yeah, that.
How did this start, and how was that growing up in Hunters Point?
Well, when you talk about growing up, man, it's a lot more than just this Hunters Point come with that. You know what I'm saying? It's Frisco as a whole.
Okay.
Because, you know, when I was young, my mama and my family moved around. Now, my family, the reason Hunters Point is so deeply embedded in me, you know what I'm saying, is because my uncles, they was the first original gangs in Minnow Point called the Gladiators, way back before I was even born.
Okay.
But they was the first original gang in Hunters Point called the Gladiators.
So
From
what
Middle Point.
was their movement like? What like, you know how we always look back in documentaries and shit, and we see how them crews was formed. Like, was that a crew formed for protection, and was it like?
Well, it wasn't so much the way my uncle explained it to me. It wasn't so much about being a crew formed for protection against each other. You know what I'm saying? It was more of a protection formed against, you know what I'm saying, the white man.
Right? That's where I was going
because
with it.
Because a lot of the San Franciscans today, a lot of our grandmothers and grandfathers and uncles and aunties, and a lot of them came from down south. They migrated from down south.
Absolutely.
And then they came to the city. And, moving into that area, there was a lot of, racism going on at the time back in the days, which still exists to this day. But then they started to come together and they started to create their own as they build throughout the poverty coming from the South.
Okay.
But then just getting back to like the city as a whole, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot I got out of Valencia Gardens, the VGs, the projects, being there young, Filmo, being there young. Like there's not a soil that I haven't touched or done something.
Okay.
Whether it be Sunnydale, whether it was Potrero Hill, whether it was Alamany, which is called the Black Hole, North Beach, Lakeview, you know what I'm saying? Like the list goes on and on. I hope I ain't forgetting nobody. I said Hunters Point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got everybody else. Who else? You know what I'm saying? Like just moving around. If I forgot somebody, I don't know. But just growing up like that. For me, when I grew up with the cats that I grew up with, we was taught that we had to get down with these.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So first and foremost, before it was any of this, just for you to even be able to hang around, you had to chump your things.
Get down. Yeah, for sure.
And you couldn't run to the house, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
moms was gonna whoop your ass.
For sure.
So you had to get down, like, you know what I mean? So growing up like that, I learned a lot about the culture, about being a man, about standing on your own. And the dope gang was really a father to me.
Okay.
Being in the streets, we was selling quarter teas of powder before crack cocaine even hit the streets.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
When did you see crack?
I saw crack in maybe like 85, 86.
Me too.
That's when I saw crack, like 85, 86.
Well, and because they was freebasing in like 83, 84.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We sold quarter teas of powder because
Right.
with the quarter teas of powder, that's when you cut it with the B12.
Right.
And then the base heads, they would come buy the powder and go home and cook it themselves.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And then we figured out a way how to cook it and just cut all that out. Like just come get the rock from us. Because I remember a lot of times when we got money was so easy to get back then. That's why I say, Ronald Reagan, rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, Dre.
Ronald Reagan years was the golden years as far as us hustling and getting money. Because the police, they didn't understand what that was.
They didn't even
catch
know.
you with a bag of stones and throw that shit on the ground and stomp on
They
it.
didn't know what it was. Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
real shit.
Shit like that was happening back then. So, that was my era growing up, in San Francisco, being around the pimps, the players, the hustlers, real gangsters. Snitching wasn't tolerated. You didn't kill a nigga for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You had to sit down at the round table. There was rules and regulations to the game. You know what I mean? It wasn't just, everybody running wild with it. That's when we was riding Cougars, Mustangs, Gold Things and Vols, Zapcos, 415s in the trunk. You was spending more money on the motor than the car itself.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like it was stuff like
Y'all
that.
hear that, man? That braggedy shit wasn't allowed at the sideshow, man.
No.
That motor had to be nice.
The motor cost, you know what I'm saying?
Man, for
Purple
real.
gas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Purple gas. You know what I mean?
For real.
So it was that growing up in the projects, right? Government cheese, Farina. I don't know if a lot of cats know what that is. Just being out there by myself.
Look, I got to stop you there because this is going to be funny. I always say this because Cheap and D for sure going. Remember the yellow aisle in the grocery store?
Yeah.
Remember the generic shit? But they had everything but on one
But
aisle.
it was all generic. It was all generic. You had the ham in a can, the spam, everything. Thick ass blocks of government cheese.
Hey, right now the society so sensitive, they would sue for that. That would be like discrimination right now. Like, oh, you sending all the people with food stamps and government shit down they can't get what everybody else could get.
We used to be. Remember the powdered eggs?
Powdered milk, powdered eggs.
Powdered milk, all of that shit.
That shit was crazy.
You was getting them boxes.
Yeah.
But that's what we grew up.
For sure.
That's what we grew up. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was like growing up in the city, growing up in Frisco like that. You know, it was striving through poverty. And I grew up in a single parent home.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying? And you know, so
Siblings?
Yeah, I had siblings, but you know, wasn't no male around and like really just, you know, the streets, the game was, you know what I mean? And I was always about having some money back then. Mm-hmm. And I went through my phase of, you know, being addicted to drugs and shit. Back then, everybody was smoking Grimmies.
Okay.
You remember that?
So this is a thing that because reoccurringly, like I talk about often more than I seen it a lot in Oakland too, right? But later on, did that ever, because I loved Andre Nicotina, right? Mm-hmm. I loved but these rappers rapped about it. Short rapped about it. You know what I'm saying? Nicotina, cocaine blunts and hip hop tapes. You know, Short, Too Short and Fred being straight smoking coke. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think about that now, the in between then and people shaming you, in between people actually praising being a real drug addict now.
That's deep because you know, back then if you was on dope, motherfucker get on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you was shunned, or you was ran off the block, or you know what I mean? Like it wasn't respected. But the whole thing about it is a lot of people was doing the same thing. So it wasn't what you did, it was how you did it. So a lot of them cats was able to be functioning dope fiends back then. You see what I'm saying? Where to some of us, we couldn't handle it like that. And then you know, now Mess can make a song called Playing With My Nose.
Man.
And the world love it.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? So that right there is the major break between the two, and just being like that. And it's funny that you brought up Andre Nicotina, which is really Dre Dog, because that's one of my, like I said, you know, just growing up in the city, Dre Dog was the first person to smoke skunk weed with me. Okay. When I was a youngster. Okay. Got me high, and the motherfucker sent me home high as fuck. But I was young.
So before then it was Bammer.
I never really smoked Bammer. Okay. We just smoked skunk weed, chocolate Tide. Cess. Remember, Cess was, but that's like Bammer.
Bammer, right.
The Mexican
or the
Cess.
Green weed, yeah.
But see, that when you take the Mexican Cess, that's when you sprinkle the.
Okay. Right, you're right. So, until they got broke and they started putting it in their cigarettes.
Start smoking the sweet ones.
So, Blood Box and Ready Rock.
All right.
At this time in your life, what's going on?
Shout out Valencia Gardens. You know what I'm saying? At this time in my life, when I did the album, well, first and foremost, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was already a Blood. And see, that's a lot of things that a lot of people really get confused with, a lot of shit that been going on in the Bay in regards to the whole Mess thing, and Mess and fake blood, this and that. And then everybody always was like, well, why they don't come at Juice like that? Because nigga, if you know the history of Juice was Blood Box before he was Juice. Right. I didn't even know I was gonna be Juice. Right. When I was Blood Box. You dig what I'm saying? Because I was already gangbanging, and rest in peace to Ready Rock too. That was a point in time in my life where I decided to say, I want to do music. Now this is where it's gonna fuck you up at. The person who taught me how to rap was Sibo and Chill Be Dope, being locked up in Sacramento. Look at you. See, I just gave you a jewel. Definitely. You feel me? Motherfucker didn't know that. Definitely. I'm in Slough House County Boys Ranch, locked up, beating on the table, beatboxing and shit. Wow. Before it was Blood Box, it was Beatbox. You know what I mean? Okay. So I was beatboxing. I done battled the human beatbox and all that shit. Damn. You don't remember Home Turf back in the day? Hell
yeah, Dominique Dupree.
Yeah, I done been on all that.
I just Googled her because she was fine as fuck.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was stuff like that was going on, but I was already doing what I was doing, and at that particular point in time, I decided to say I want to do music.
My shit just went like this. This nigga battled the human beatbox.
Yeah, like that old.
Yeah.
All that shit. Like, so when I did that, I decided that I wanted to, you know, because I looked up to all my guys from RTP. Okay. Volcano, TP, Drano Lee, Marvelous, The Phantom, Davy D Jam, Sweet D, you know what I mean, and then Rapper Forte. So a lot of people didn't know Rapper Forte was with RTP. RTP was from the Valencia VGs, Valencia Gardens, 15th Street.
You know, somebody at OG told me, and he kind of broke that shit down too, like, because that topic came up before, and he was like, no, Juice, he ain't the only one from the VGs that's a blood.
Nah, it's just a lot of history that go on behind that, you know, particular situation, and there was beef going on way back in the days that a lot of cats didn't know about.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And there was beef going on between Potrero Hill and Valencia Gardens.
Okay.
And there was Crips in Potrero Hill.
I know that.
See?
I know that.
But nobody talk about it.
I do know that.
Right? And I understand that the Bay, we proud to be, because at once we was all 415.
Exactly.
Right? We was
That's
all
what it
415
was.
at once. You know, for whatever reason they changed the area codes because they split it up.
Yeah.
But when cats hit the penitentiary or whatever the case may be,
415.
it was 415.
Oakland
right?
OG niggas got 415 tattoos.
Right. So and my uncle and them, they from the Space Ace Gangsters, so they really, that's really Kumi 415.
Right, for
you
sure.
Feel me?
For sure.
So we're gonna talk about it. Right? All right. So with that being said, I understand and I respect how individuals out here pride themselves on saying, you know, we ain't Bloods or we ain't Crips. But to say that there ain't no Bloods and Crips in the Bay is like to say it ain't no Bay niggas in LA.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Niggas be everywhere. But everybody already knew what it was with me. So that's why nobody never came at me like that. Because once you find out the history of the truth of what it is, and this is what happened, Rab. So, you know, remember in Training Day where Snoop Dogg swallowed the dope? Okay, I went through that in the VGs.
Okay.
Boom. Police came in there, choked me out. I threw up the rocks, all that, whatever. I had a few cases. Boom. I went to, remember YGC? Juvenile in Frisco? Okay, so I went to YGC, and they labeled me a menace to society before the movie came out.
Okay.
In the city, right?
Okay.
In the county. And so they was finna send me to Y. And then my mom came to court and was like, well, I'm finna move to Sacramento.
Okay.
Right? But now I got over 400 and some relatives and cousins in Sacramento. So we always used to go to Sacramento for family reunions.
Okay.
So Sacramento was like a second home to me. Now, we was faster than Sac back then, right?
Absolutely.
Because when I used to go to Sac, even though it was summertime, nigga, we had donkey ropes on, gazelles. We was wearing Kangos, feelers, fat pockets. We was playing with Uzis as young niggas.
Oh, for sure.
We was playing with the when we was
sure.
young. So I'm in Carl's Jr. one day, right? And I'm visiting my cousins, and they Bloods, and I'm visiting them. But they ain't telling me what's going on, right? Because I'm a Bay Area nigga, and we say blood.
Right.
Period. It don't got nothing to do with gangbang.
Nothing.
What's up, blood? Like
Right.
we've been saying that for years. I'm in Carl's Jr. and I turn around. Now I'm young. I'm balling. We selling rocks.
Okay.
We riding Cougars and Stangs.
Yeah.
We doing our thing. So I'm in Carl's Jr. and I turn around to my relatives and I go, blood, what y'all want to eat? Cause y'all don't gotta pay for nothing, nigga. I'm on my paid. I'm looking like Paid in Full.
Right.
The movie.
Right. That's how it looked out
Like
here.
Cam and
Yeah.
shit. That's how we was moving.
That's
we
how
was
we
like
looked.
cause the Bay Area was considered a baby New York.
Right.
I mean, we had fat triple goose coats,
All that shit.
Travel Fox, Buffalinos.
For sure.
That's we been fly, right?
Lee Cosportees.
Boom, I turn around and I say, blood, what y'all want? And two Crip niggas hop up from 29th Street, Garden Block Crip. And I got a lot of family from later on down the line. You start finding out I got family, brothers, all this shit, right? But this is in the beginning. I'm 14, 15 years old. Young nigga.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Balling though.
Yeah.
Right? He like, what you say? Call me a slob. I'm like, what the fuck this nigga talking about?
Right.
What's a slob? You know?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, what you talking about? And then he like, cuz, woo. And then he pulled out a 22 on me. And I'm like, nigga, what?
Yeah.
What you gonna do with that?
Right.
But not knowing then as a youngster, like, that a 22 bullet to
Kill
travel
you.
and
Right,
kill you.
right.
You don't gotta knock a hole in
You just know
gotta-
you got some other shit.
Yeah, I got some other shit, so I'm
Yeah.
like, what you gonna do with that? But I'm ready to fight.
Right.
Right? I'm finna fight him. And I remember it verbatim to this day. A pregnant chick, this pregnant girl hopped over the counter. And she said, He don't know what that is. He ain't even from out here. Now me and dude still having words, but then I found out what that was. And then from then I felt how I felt.
Yeah.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Not because of a thought process, but because emotionally that dude caused me to think a certain way. You're not finna stop me from saying blood.
Right.
So now that I'm saying it, now I got more of a purpose.
I'm gonna go
behind
all
it.
the way with this
Now
shit.
I got a purpose behind it.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So a nigga can't never get on the motherfucking internet and try to contest whether I was really out there banging or not.
Right.
Nigga, you niggas on nigga what?
Yeah.
We been getting on shit. In this bay, and you know what I'm saying? Like we been doing this. And cats know it.
When you out there, do you at which point, like, is a straight lace mob? Do this exist already?
Nah.
Not yet.
Nah, I'm not even juice. I don't even know. None of this even exists.
How did
the juice come along?
No, well, how did I know? Well, so you was in a group, Gin and Juice.
Right, with
But
Jen.
I want to
Jen went to the pen, and I went solo.
I want to go back a little bit. Like when Colors came out, was you banging yet?
Yeah.
And how was that? Because I can remember this clearly. Like I can remember going to Eastmont Mall movie theater, right? And Colors had niggas so amped up they was shooting, right? They was shooting in there, right? And so I'm just imagining if you had already adopted the gang shit and you like, I'm on this already, and then you see the movie, did it heighten or hyping up what was going on between y'all and Portrayal Hill already?
Nah, what was going on? What was going on between the VGs and Portrayal Hill? That was like personal shit.
Some other shit.
Yeah, that was personal shit. But shout out to everybody because motherfuckers is grown now and older. A lot of cats that was involved in that. That era of beefing, but there was bodies behind that, so there was pain at the time.
Yeah.
The thing behind that is that I forgot who it was that got killed, but when he got killed, his family was Crips, and I think they was from Santana Block.
Okay.
And then they came down.
Okay.
And then they start, and then
because I was just wondering, like, how did like that affect you, like something like Colors? Because at the time when you think about things in the black community that was affecting us major, I'm talking about world news. You heard gangbanging, you heard about crack. Like there was certain things that you like they just tried to make niggas seem like animals, right? Right. So I just was wondering, how was you living as a blood? Was you functioning? Was you in a khaki suit? Was you like none of that shit? I never adapted that part of the culture. You didn't take their ways.
No, I never adapted that part of the culture because I never felt like we was already fly.
Okay.
I was already used to being and having and being a certain way. So we was already fly. So we never really adapted to that part of it. Although it was respected, because it was opposite, right? It'd be like you got cats that's rich and spending money on a lot of designer shit, and then I go out here with my family out here, and they running around with khakis and t-shirts, and they rich to the motherfucker,
right,
and they ain't spending money on
this is a choice,
you know what I'm saying? So it was a choice, but I never adapted it from that perspective. Also, I never adapted it from the perspective of fuck them niggas wearing blue, nigga, fuck them niggas. It's never been that. It's always been personal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If I really got a problem with you, then it is what it is.
Absolutely.
If you want to push up on me and be like, oh, what's up, yada, 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 okay, we're going to fall out.
Right.
We're going to do our homework, we're going to find out who you is, and then I'm going to be on you.
Yeah.
I'm into it with you. You know what I'm saying? So we playing cat and mouse or dog and cat or whatever you want to call it until I catch you and get on you and do whatever it is that I got to get done. You know what I'm saying? And that's and that mentality has stuck with me for a long time. The reason why I end up going to the penitentiary now in the first place.
Right.
Older.
Right.
Because it's so easy to revert to a soldier.
Yeah.
When something happened, it's like, oh, what? You don't know? Like,
it's like riding a bike.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like riding a bike. Like I get at you. But I never adapted it from that perspective, and I never came back home and forced it on anyone, right? Because each area you functioning differently, right? This is what it is when you out here. This is what it is when you out there.
Stay all blue.
They all blue.
I'm just trying to stay racked up like you.
Put an 8 in a 1 and do magic. Tryna stretch hair on like elastic. Eco-friendly drug dealer, I don't waste no plastic. Use all 4 corners of that baggie. All I ever wanted was a bankroll. So I pull up on Champ before the bank close. Say no to stank hoes and stank clothes. No paramedic pimpin', nigga,